Okay, here's another fun power law one. We're nearly finished with all this. This is I can't believe this one. So this is Mason Porter. He's a good guy, very quirky, interesting character, who was at Oxford but is now back at UCLA. I think principally because he loves the Dodgers. Anyway. So they published this thing in Science, and they're saying they're just basically like, all these power law things, we're sick of it, right? Stop doing this. You know, they're trying to like send a big story out that you shouldn't claim you have a power law when you don't, blah, blah, blah. And they published what is really an opinion figure, which is an interesting thing to do, right? This is, and there are almost opinion type equations, right? And you could say that about economics. But they convey great certainty. So these are just some points. There's nothing there. They're just some points. This is where your theories are, people. This is a slam. This is the mechanic, you know, our understanding of the mechanism for how these things come about. And so they're saying not good, and then the statistical support for scaling of whatever it is in this system, not good. They've got 4 out here. They like this one, right? But again, claiming not so much goodness here. And they're actually pointing to West, Brown, and Enquist. Yeah. So incredibly, it's actually here. I mean, it really is. I mean, I'm saying it is. So I wrote to Mason, I said, dude, you don't know about this madness. Because he didn't know, because of that citation history, the way that works, the way this is, you know, this is beautiful and exciting and is talked about. And I know this is true in a lot of areas of science and so on, and it's just weird to be a part of one of them. It's easy not to see all the criticisms. And often there are just crazy criticisms that are wrong. Sure, you know. Anyway, he published something a bit later to say, you know, this isn't, all right, basically that one's not as good as it was. I mean, their general, like, waving flags and being upset remains. I guess, I don't know who Strumpf is, but he didn't want to be part of it. So Porter put something on the archive, and I guess if it's less than a page long, they'll reject it. So he had to maybe add some, he made a blog post or something. Anyway, that was funny. He's an interesting character. But that's an opinion figure, right? I mean, there are no dimensions here. And they got it in Science, and I don't understand it. Anyway, there were a couple of replies. You know, Barabazi comes along and says, he actually basically used the same thing. Every 5 years, someone comes along and says this, the same thing he said to Clauset, and says power laws and blah, 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 blah. And, yeah. Anyway, really, that was so weird. Oh, my God. I think it was, I'm pretty sure Morgan Frank showed me this. Yeah, and you should ask Danforth and Frank how I explained, how I reacted at the time. Wow. What is it? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is still, I mean, this at some point has to be something that's like quantified, right? I mean, at some point this has to be a thing, a number, but it's still this is clearly an opinion at this point, no? Yeah, I mean, we could come up for units, right? I mean, I don't know.